All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. It's your boy Dave coming back at you live. It is a happy Thursday. Let's get started here with our market news, and we will get into our watch list. We got stocks closed in the red on Wednesday, failing to recover from Monday sell-off fully. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 0.60% to close at 38,763.45, while the S&P 500 moved 0.77% lower to close the session at 5,199.50. The NASDAQ Composite saw the largest percentage drop out of all the major indexes at 1.05%, finishing the session at 16,195.81. This comes after Tuesday's session served as a bright spot for the markets, with the S&P and the NASDAQ moving 1% higher and the Dow adding almost 300 points. So, yeah, not a great nor bullish trading week so far. So, Friday was already rocky. Monday, another rocky day. And then just kind of following, we're just getting slower and market isn't really that, great looking. So, we're just, kind of take this week, sort of being obviously extra patient. And, I think staying grateful and having that, the gratitude mindset is going to be really important this week because, we start comparing and thinking about, well, this could be this and this could be that. Some things are out of our control. So all it's going to do is just going to, frustrate, us and do nothing but, enter negativity. So let's make sure we try to do our best to filter out the negatives and do our best to make sure that we do what we can within our control. So let's get into the watch list. CDT is our number one gainer and really just the only stock that I have personally traded this morning. Yesterday actually ended up on the small caps being a pretty good day. Actually, ended up trading a couple stocks that really went on my favor. We nailed ADTX, IDAI, Indo, LEMN, RR, ZCMD. I mean, all those stocks I traded and just got nice green this yesterday. But today, it is looking a little bit more less that is quality type of stocks that I like to trade. So, but getting into CET here, obviously some micro penny stocks. So really isn't like my favorite go-to, nor looking at the float of this company. This is actually almost a 10 million float. I thought it was like about 23, but it is a 10 million float. USA Biotech company. And they did have news this morning, entered into exclusive license agreement with AstraZeneca for multiple assets to advance potential first-in-class treatment. So we had that press release. Overall, it's just been doing nothing but higher lows. I didn't really get a chance to go in big shares or anything like that just because, as soon as I wake up, first hint I get whether or not I think this market today is going to be, really active or not. It's just by simply looking at the top gainers list on the Discord channel. If you look at the top gainers channel in the morning, I like to see at least about, 10, or just a bit more on average. Today, this morning, you wake up, you got like 4 or 5 on the top gainers, meaning, we just didn't have a whole lot of, good activity already to start off because the pre-market starts at 4 a.m. and you want to see a little bit of this press release pop runners, but we didn't really see that. But anyway, CT number one gainer has press release, so this is going to be my number one watch going into market opening. The only thing you have to keep in mind is it's been holding off this nice higher lows, throughout the whole pre-market. So we did just go into a little bit of death cross. But with this particular stock, if you look, they did have a death cross earlier at 834, only to bounce off from the VWAP, and it just did the same thing here at 925. So literally about an hour or so, about 15 minutes after, it's done the same thing. So look at the pattern from the previous few hours back, and it's gotten the death cross. It looks like it's going to be done, but it's bounced off the VWAP. So what the point here is we need to really pay attention to the VWAP here, because the moment VWAP cracks, you better bet that this thing's going to go all the way down to like 30 cents and below. Maybe right now 500 EMA is at 28. By that time, it'll probably be dropping down another 8 cents. So right now, we got a support line VWAP around 37. And so, ideally, I'd like to see this Heikin Ashi body holding above this 38. and then kind of do one more shot back up. Just be on the lookout for this lower high here. You got that pre-market high of 44. Obviously, 44 does break that pre-market high. We'll see a new high of day, and I do like to see if we can continue on up higher. But the chances are we're probably going to need to really get a solid build support at 44. If not, it's going to be a little wick into a new high of day and then get another drop. So that's what I'm thinking here with this CDT. Market's going to open up right now. Pretty much everything on the watch list here. I mean, we just don't have a whole lot of volume this morning. So once the volume comes in, I'll turn my attention on those names. Like, for example, Wena, we have a play for 165. It's been fooling around 155, 165 for a while. So I am going to be waiting for that 165 solid break. Right now, I do expect a little bit of this test at VWAP. If VWAP cracks, then I'm going to move on because it's just probably going to most likely go down to the 500 EMA. So, you know, personally, my outlook today is, I mean, this is a lot of micro penny stocks on the watch list this morning, or, you know, on the gainers list as well. We got LODE, which I didn't get to cover, but there's a press release here. I do have a line at 25 candle break, so I do want to mention that, but you guys know these micro penny stocks are not really my go-to name, so I'm kind of sitting back at the moment. I had a pretty decent day yesterday, a good day. That was a pretty good day yesterday, so I'm not really looking to just kind of force any trades today, just only to give some gains back potentially today. So let's see here. We got a 25-cent candle break on LODE, CDT pulling back, corrective VWAP. Already had the remember, we already had a death cross at 925, like I mentioned. So we're probably going to see that pullback now, testing the 200 EMA. I mean, you could try the 200 EMA, but personally, this thing I think it's way better to just, on a day like today, just let it come all the way down to 30 cents. So CDT, VWAP cracked, now worth watching for 501. So that's just personally me. LODE, let's pull that one up. Top second gainer. It is getting that candle break at 25 right now. It's been so far wick. So once that candle is able to close above that 25-cent mark here, then, you know, you got a shot. But right now, once again, I'm not taking a trade here because it just doesn't look very promising, and it's not my price range as well. So it looks like it wicked into 25 and back down. So no go there. GBP, this one is also on the watch list, but I think this is like trading flat right now. Press release on this guy was about it's just acquired by another company, Pelican Energy Partners. So it's probably some you probably read the press release, probably some maybe $4 a share or something, because it's sitting right at $4 is straight flat. So that's probably not worth keeping an eye on. Really, it was a little bit difficult to form the watch list this morning just because it was just lacking in volume. A lot of these stocks are below 1 million in volume. The only ones that are above are these micro penny stocks, obviously trading at 23, 30 cents that are, you know, at the millions. But, you know, HRO, it's also way high price stock. It's just not really something that I like to or enjoy trading in that range. When you guys already know this. You guys already know. At this point, you've been here with me for a few years. You already know what I'm looking at. If I don't see what I like, I'm not even bothering, you know, throwing in. Sometimes I do throw in small chips. And if it doesn't work out, I'll take like a, you know, $50 loss or $200 loss. I'm not going to be in like back in the days where I'm going to average down, throw more money only to, you know, it's sitting there all few hours only to just barely, you know, do nothing and then lose like 2-3 grand. It's just dumb. And more actually. So way better to just sit on your hands and wait for a new opportunity. Like I said, the best bet is CDT. So, I mean, right now at the moment, it's bouncing off the 200 EMA. The only thing next I will watch is a golden cross when the 10 EMA gets back above the 10 EMA. CDT, #1 gainer and only play so far this morning for me. It did death cross earlier. So watching for the golden cross. So far bouncing off from the 200 on the one. Could be just the market opening dip and bounce. And now we're coming up to, remember, We do need to at least, I mean, we don't want to see a lower high. So that all being said, yes, today is the slowest trading day yet in several weeks. I mean, we've had slower days too, but today is particularly just because probably the thing about it is sometimes it's okay if the day is slow, but if it's not in my, if the stocks are not like my go-to names, it is difficult, right? It's just like everyone has their specific stocks or certain patterns or certain things they're looking for. And if it's not there, it's just not there. There's no need to be forcing and pretending that you're seeing something and making random trades. Now, when it was another one that I was hoping it would get 165. It got rejected at 165, didn't get that break. There was another rejection at 155, and now pull back down to the 500 EMA. So I do want to mention that when now testing 500 EMA, this could be a decent, maybe a potential bounce area. So far, the only 500 EMA that I've seen so far. I put LUMN on the watch list as well, just because that one was one of the multi-day runners. So I was just kind of thinking maybe it might go for another run. You see what I'm saying here? Like I said, that doesn't. There's no point of you to buy at 200. Yeah, you could have gotten a quick spike there, but it's still at the death cross and never got the golden cross. That's the only thing that I was looking at. Now we can wait for the 30-cent entry, which is what ideally what I'd like to see, because that was our first entry breakout level.
SKYT. CGL, ALA. RDT2. RWF, SKYT, 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 DNLN, PG1, SKYT, SKYRHS, SKYT, SKYT, MRT, W, BSAT, BSAT, DCGO, BSAT, ACMR, MRT. SPB, PW. BSAT, BSAT. Again. MRT, again. BSAT. Again. Again. CDLX. Third. HGB.
Oh, wow, okay. So wow. I'm just gonna wait for CT to come down to the juicy 500 line. But I'm kind of like speechless. I'm like, well, we had a pretty decent day, good day yesterday, and today's like, in the desert here. So coming almost down to that 30 cents.
SRL, ATNL. Again, again, again. BCGO, CCGO, FWRT, FWRT. SN.
Mm.
DCGO.
Yeah, I would like to get back in on CDT and once again trade ideas. I don't know how this works, but they magically got rid of CDT now. It's just gone, poof, disappeared in thin dust. It's not showing up in the gainers list anymore. Strange. I mean, this guy traded 161 million in volume, so the 500 EMA is not really budging just quite yet. Maybe we can get like, yeah, ideally, I'd like to see if it's gonna fill down to 28 there. I mean, today's just so slow, so might as well wait till it actually comes all the way down instead of just. Better to be safe than sorry. I'm sure there's gonna be like maybe one random rat or two popping out of the hole, trying to trying to do its thing. Disregard the first one there. I think we need to be, yeah, this is not the candle break, this is the dip. So I want to see this thing coming down to 28 potentially. It might not get 28, it might get to 29.30. But like I said, I'm just gonna, and if it doesn't fill me, then that's fine. I'm just not gonna force it. I'd rather get this thing all the way down to that 500 instead. Ogan reacting to good news, says John 92. Let's see. OGN. Let me pull it up. Let us see how it is reacting to this whatever news. Let's see. Ogan. So low flow. I like the low so far. It's like looking like it wants to pop up soon at the VWAP roll. Let me see how much room it has. Sometimes I just ignore the moment I look at the hourly chart. It just doesn't have enough juice. It does have some decent room here. Yeah, I like the Oaken. Good mention there. The only thing is, I wish I gotten at that VWAP roll there. Man, really don't want to force missed out trades. Rather look for that pull back down to that 120 there on OGN. Let me pull that one up for now, and then I'm gonna give one more trial on CDT if it comes back down to that 28 cents. Okay, it is above VWAP. Probably gonna get rejected into 150 if it does get another new high of the day.
ARHS. ARHS. SN. DNBT. BLBT.
So again, if it comes down to 120, I'd like to see that area that should be around the 10 EMA and get a nice little bull flag set up is what I would personally like to see. Right now, it is sort of holding that VWAP, so it might not happen, but
BLBT.
Ooh. Obviously NQ today, nice spike at that news at 8:30. And then now we're getting a market opening since then, just a reversal pullback. Right now, Ogan does look good. I just, at this point, if I miss that 120 mark, I'm not going to chase it. unless I see a new Blues Clues. Right now, I don't have no clue on what the next area is gonna be. If you're already in, I mean, you probably got a shot up towards 150 before hitting another little bit of resistance, but we'll see here.
HR double. ARHS, ARHS, ARHS. MBL1. BLBT. ARHS, LUNR. MAPS. HROW, HROW, NVRO.
Yeah, Wilkins going at the moment.
REAS. WW. ESAT, ESAT, WW, CRNC.
Just waiting for pullbacks today, guys. Not really looking for the breakouts unless I do really see a nice breakout, entry levels. I'd rather look for pullbacks in this market. Either pullbacks or I'm not taking them unless A plus breakout level that I really like. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna get 28 by now. Maybe the way it's going now, it might be 29, 30 now. So but I'm just gonna leave it the way it is for now. I'm gonna let you guys know that's probably what potentially could happen. Okay, if you guys got in on the Ogan, that pullback, that is what I was looking for. You're getting a really nice dip, by the way. It's going on a just massive massacre short there. Okay, Ogan, show us some pride here. Get the VWAP roll next.
MAPS. ZIP. ZIP.
My man. Okay, so far got a quick scalp on Ogan, 120 to 132, but we gotta get that 132 out of the way now.
You know,
So again, in this market, take what you can, scalp it in and out, and then we gotta wait for the next confirmation, which was the VWAP roll. VWAP right now is below, and that's fine. Right now we're testing back at that 120 mark, 120 cracks, then that means that we're gonna be officially cracking the 10 EMA, and then we will be heading all the way back down because again, personally, I don't want to see that happen because we really don't have a whole lot of options today. So I rather see the bulls hold at that 120 here because that is now support. Okay. So Ogan, nice 120 bounds to PT, then back to 120 support at the moment.
double,
Need VWAP roll. Okay. 120 cracks, then yeah, expect this to I wouldn't buy the dips until it comes all the way down to the 500, that's pretty much $1. So that's where I would look for a re-entry there. Either 120, though right now 120, the candle buy didn't crack. Does that make sense, guys? So on the Hikinashi, you have 2 seconds that are closing above 120. So next candle, here we go. If it starts making another lower low, then yeah, you're probably going to see a lower high and lower low, but it needs to make a higher low here. We don't want to see this candle getting another going below 117, then that's it. Right now, it really, this candle is it. This candle really needs to bounce. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough. Right now, the down haul is $1 and up haul is 150. Obviously, right now it's consecutive red candles, so it is not, looking like it's gonna do the job. But from this 120, we did get that bounce. Sitting on my hands, I'll just keep watching Ogan for now because I just CDTs below VWAP, loads below VWAP, WENA's below VWAP. The best thing to do is just wait for the really the another low dips. There was a play for Ogan and then CDT at the 28. I'm just gonna leave it at 28, as you can see, based on the current market conditions. So
EBS. UWNC. AAOI. WGNY. MTW.
all right. Yeah, let me know any more other good ideas, guys. I mean, Ogan's certainly one of the good names. I don't know how I might have missed the put it on the watch list. Sometimes I miss it. I mean, the thing is, this guy's not even on the gainers list. That's the only thing. So most of the time when I don't see it on the gainers list, I just don't really see it. What? Yeah, okay, so interesting. Yeah, even on the top gainers list on the Discord, it's not showing right up there because the lowest is only showing all the way down to 25%. So this thing's only up 20% for the day, so it's not really showing. But either way, it was a good, decent bounce. It doesn't always have to be on the watch list for us to play, guys. So, but it was just low volume, and it got a low volume, and again, it's down all the way here. So it's a very hard spot, right? When you have all of these gainers. I mean, if you guys just talk about it, mention it, to be honest with you guys, I mean, we could probably play any of these down here, and once I find support levels, and I think it's good, and you guys think it's good, name has PR or whatnot, we could easily make little trades like that anytime. It's just, I, that's just not really my go-to. I wake up in the morning and I look at one of the gainers list, which one has momentum, and certainly Ogen. Once we started, and get more people, and this thing starts hitting the top gainers list, and more, we've seen that happen. We've done that before. It just like any other stocks out there. Anyone with these low flows gets some volume, gets attention. People read the PR, whatever, and they're like, "Oh, okay, this one has a good setup. It's got room to run daily." It certainly could be one of the top gainers once we start getting the ball rolling. So I think Ogan is still good at 120, or if you want to re-break at 120, if you missed that, you can certainly go for the 120. But I would personally now go for the VWAP roll at the 120. What is this line? 120, 128 line. So that's what I'm gonna put a line there actually, 128. That's a good line to keep your eyes on. If you're a breakout trader, this is the candle break line at 128 that I'm going to be. I wouldn't really say that's my favorite line, but let's just draw 128 because that's where the VWAP is at. So you see how, like, if I was throwing out all my trades and multiple names, this, that, I have 8, 9, 10, 12 different trades, even though I may have gone in small shares, imagine those small trades end up being losses. They end up adding up. So then, I'm negative. And, honestly, like if I go negative $1,000, that's okay. Because yesterday I had a $6,000 day. If I had a $1,000 day loss, yeah, I'd rather not lose. But the whole point is look at it at the end of the week. Look at the results at the end of the week. I don't really look at the day-to-day, results as much anymore, right? I used to, but I really think as day traders, the goal, the outlook on the result side should be more at the end of the week instead of checking every day of like, okay, how many? Let me add how much it was today, and then my $200 yesterday. I lost 150 today. I'm only up $50. But at the end of the day, look at the end of the week outlook. If it's green at the end of the week, that's good. That's what you want to aim for. Because day-to-day basis, like I said before to you guys, so many variables happen, so much things happen, day to day. You could have a bad day based on just something as getting a text message from somebody that, wasn't saying something nice about you, or, somebody saying, hey, or some meeting got canceled that you really needed to go to. Everything happens, day to day. So it goes unplanned. Obviously we want to go things the way we want to, but as business owners, entrepreneurs, day traders, all that, if you're not, you guys know this. It doesn't always go the way we want to, so we have to expect that. So I'd rather personally like that at the end of the week. Overall, how did the end of the week, the whole week went? So now look what happened here. We got a nice resistance now at 120, right? Because 120 needed to hold a support. Once it cracks, that previous support becomes resistance. So now it's rejecting at 120. So now it's creating 120 resistance. So that means what? Well, shorts are doing a better job, and shorts are trying to, most likely at this point in my vision or like predictions, they're trying to take it all the way down to that $1 mark, and that's where they want to, make their money. I mean, I don't blame it because on this market, yeah, like short is way better right now at the moment. So, let them make money on the way down. They need their days too. It's like an ecosystem. You can't just have carnivores. You need the herbivores, you need the carnivores, you need the bulls and the bears. You can't just try to be like, oh, let's just extinct them. Like, it doesn't work like that. Okay, certainly a very big bounce off 50 EMA here on NQ.
SN, ACDC.
It is coming up towards a little bit of upper trend line there. Resistance line there, that is.
RL. REAX, REAX.
Probably a little bit more room up there though. So let's see if it's gonna make a previous break above this candle high. It still could do that here. And then gets a big fat rejection. So you see how now again, there's no need to be buying at the 50 EMA. There's no need to be buying at the 89 EMA. 200, I mean, oh, I would just wait for all the 500 EMA. And I mean, the 500 EMA on 200 EMA actually just tested there on Ogan because it was so close by. You know, I hope you guys understand how I'm able to predict like what's the likelihood. By the way, there's a bigger pot there. What's the likelihood of this stock going all the way down to this EMA? There's no need to be wasting time to buy or average out or worry about 50 EMA 25. Every stock is going to have their personal traits, their personality day to day. So you have to understand that it's not like, simple as, oh, this guy just told me that all you have to do is just wait until it comes all the way down to 50 EMA and just buy the dips at the 50 EMA. That's very simple-minded. Obviously, if you think you can make a living by just finding out one indicator and just buying off that dip, it might work, but for a few days or so. But long run, it's not going to be always like that. And because most of the time it only works sometimes because you probably got lucky in terms of that 50 EMA or whatever that EMA was the actual hero EMA for that stock. So instead of thinking like that, I think of more of okay, let me figure out what this stock actually did in the morning, and then figure out what is exactly this particular stock's bounce point area, the support level, because every stock, like I said, as you know, is going to be different. And so it's all about like just trying to figure out, you need to ask these questions. You need to be curious, like, okay, like, how do I figure this part out? And the more you ask questions about it, you're going to start, get curious. And the more curiosity, you're going to dig in, spend time. And that's how you start increasing your odds in your favor because you're putting in the work. It's all about the law of attraction, right? That's all you're putting in the time and hours into whatever that you want to get good at. Imagine all the things that you're good at, folks. Why are you good at that? Most likely you have that skill because you spent hours, you invested your time into it, right? Of course, in the beginning, you don't have a lot of experience. You don't have a whole lot of hours invested. So you're going to suck. So it's a no wonder in the beginning, why are people so always defeated and discouraged when you just got started? You don't have 10 years of experience. Yeah, you're gonna expect rough roads. You're gonna have losses. If you think in the beginning it's gonna be just rainbows and butterflies, right? That's not reality. Yeah, so stay the course and also be smart. Don't be this guy or gal that comes in and then you only have $2,000 to your name and let me put it all in, let me gamble. That's on you, man. Like you gamble. You're not learning, you're just hoping that it works out. And that's not how it works. You can't just pray to God and be like, Father God, I'll do anything you ask for. Let me just let me throw all the money in and please just this one time, just make me double the money. Like it's No. So again, all the way back down to $1. Shorts came in. So there's like no business for us to be, looking forward to it. Obviously, I think it just actually you see how it tested that 500 EMA at 10 o'clock, and it was at 102 and it bounced. It bounced, but it's making consecutive lower highs, lower lows, and just shorts are just enjoying their time there. So it's a very interesting day today where we just don't have a lot of apps. Let's take a look at apps. I just pulled this one up, and it looks like it's one of those stocks that just kind of opened up at the 200 at the market opening. Didn't have anything in pre-market, literally nothing. It's like the algos kicked in the morning and just started to swoop in and just move on up here. So, I mean, let's take a look at apps here. This is a stock up 40-50% now. Up pulse 323, pulling back down to the 25 EMA. Hero support level ideally would be the VWAP. So VWAP right now on my end is showing at $2.54. So if it comes down to 2.54, that could be a potential good dip buy area with a tight stop, and see if it's going to bounce on that area here. Right now it's testing the 25, bouncing off the 25, which actually, yeah, I think this actually the EMA hero wise might be the 25 here on this one. Looking at it.
SUPB, HNST. BSE, CAT, ACB. Scan. EBS. NN.
So yeah, with apps bouncing off that 25 EMA, 279 is a high of the day. It does have more room. I would think to try to hit it up towards near $3. And then the $3 whole dollar shuffle would be a fun area actually on this guy today. So the Blues Clues candle break line really is making sure you're staying above this 268 line, 267. I'm gonna put a line there. So now you want to see 267 hold here on apps.
SE down. NN.
It's an interesting area here. It's having a lot of wicks. Actually did a high of day candle at 10:04, ended up managing to sort of close and then just followed by a doji right away and then dip down to 25. So it doesn't seem like it's a really low flow here on this one. It's moving very slow. What is the float on this? The float is actually shouldn't be on low float, right? Yeah, it's a 91 million float. So that's why it's a slow mover. 91 million float. Yesterday, they just had a Q1 earnings snapshot. And that's about it. Nothing special. One stock that is now testing the VWAP is Load. That is on our watch list. And so there might be potential good things happening here. If you know, this low decides to get that volume here. So with that being said, I'm gonna turn my attention to load real quick. CDT didn't fill me yet. I have a 28 buy. It's almost coming down, like Clutch Clay said. So we'll see if it fills me. Load. This one is at 22 candle break, so that's pretty much this area here, VWAP. Once we get that area rolling, then yeah, it's got potential. You see how previously it had a wick. So with this particular one, probably the best idea is to make sure that one candle at least closes above the 22 as support mark, and then we build higher lows from there. That's technically a VWAP roll. So those are some options here this morning right now. As for NQ today, going up to the deviation 2 line at the moment, looks like, but I think it's kind of reaching the pinnacle personally. I think it's going to need a little bit of this pullback down to that 14 EMA again. It's getting its weight extended personally. So coming like with around this overbought territory again. Just my personal 2 cents. It could definitely make one more high day up and test near that deviation 2 line, but I'd rather see a pullback, obviously, because I mean, it almost hit that. Everything's about to, it needs a pullback. We need a red candle soon here, in my opinion. So this could go red here. All right, well, 22, then and then 28 CBT.
CGC, M's, FTRE, NHR, MGOL, EMX, HNRG, TRNC, fine. CLPT, EMXCA, CLPT, EFS, BIN,
Okay, load looking better.
CG,
Come on, baby.
S, REAS,
It's a VWAP roll, so SPY, and if it touches back down to VWAP, that's okay. We just need to hold a VWAP and bounce further.
YT, MX, IMMR, KNTK, KNTK at 85,
High of the day is 26 on load, 26.5. So, I mean, you know, the ideal big level later after hitting 25 is that 26 to break, and we get continued flows of money. 37-cent up pulse showing here on load.
S, BBA,
So we have the VWAP support here, guys. We don't want to see a Heikin-Ashi candle closing back below 22 now. We now do not want to see 0.22 candle crack on the Heikin-Ashi. So we're good. Just, you know what I mean? We just need to make sure that this is good. We have, right? You have your support, resistance, target level, stop level. Okay, 37-cent uphold. We're getting the VWAP roll. We're above all indicators right now.
GWH, ABXL, CNTY. ALG, ANTLG, ANTK, ANHCL.
We got 38 uphold now. There's a little bit of rhythmic issue for those that are on the Apex Trading or any of the prop firm accounts right now using rhythmic. There's a little bit of a connectivity issue, just FYI. Just a little heads up for those that might want to keep on trading right now. It's testing the deviation 2 line though, but just be safer than sorry. So we hit a new breakout here, pulls back down to the VWAP, and then we got a bounce here now on VWAP to another new high today. So I'm going to see VWAP roll finish here. So that way we can all get that bigger move that we want to see. Now, keep in mind, the body needs to hold 22, but if the wick ever comes down, use a 25 EMA. Actually, no, I take that back. All I'm gonna do is just wait for the candle break. Candle Heikin-Ashi 22. Just stick to what I said, what I posted. That's all we need to do. Right now, this is right now going according to what we've already talked about. So already have a plan, and that's all there's to it. So if it happens, great. Always have contingency plan just in case. But VWAP roll looking good here. Just gotta get that push. New high day on NQ. Very nice. On the gotta wick into the deviation 2 line now.
ALG, ACMR, STTK, XMTR, XMTR, XMTR. CIXT, HROW.
Load is now showing as a #1 gainer. USA Basic Material Company. This is a slow mover. So if you're wondering why this is moving slow, it's because it's 152 million in float. Very high float. Nothing wrong with that. But remember this, on slow days, we actually prefer, guys, the higher float names because it is more steadier, so to speak. If you're really interested in abs, I mean, I'm not going to take this trade. I mean, well, maybe, but 267, I'm just going to mention to you guys this candle break line for abs. If you're watching abs, if you're interested in that 267, the candle break is going to be the key. It is testing that area right now, but right now, load, I like to see this new high of the day, or excuse me, previous breakout above 24 here. Just a slow mover since it's such a fat float. It's like a big whale just taking its sweet time. Well, I wouldn't really call it a whale, but based on the float size, it's just a float itself, not this price.
PRKS.
Yeah.
KNTK. Thank you. ACLR. SWTX. Bump. EBS. Long. T-Box.
They still holding the 22, 10 EMA above VWAP, unload. Got 10 minutes till the 10:30 mark. Okay, so if you are trading NQ, make sure
BCYT.
you are watching potential reversal soon here, as deviation 2 line has already hit and made a lower high, but you want to wait for that confirmation of the lower high closing, since it already has still 4 minutes on this candle. So we need to see this kind of really crack out of the uptrend. Let me actually yeah, it's pretty much around that level. We need to start cracking out, but it's not closing red just yet, so just wait for that confirmation. A lot of people love to assume that, oh, it's going to be red, and then they just make that decision, and next thing you know, it does pop up again, that candle, and it makes a new high there or something. So got still plenty of time, 3 minutes on that candle. Okay, so we're starting to see a little clues here on load. We're getting the volume kicking in, which is a good sign. Up pulse still showing at 38.
BCYT.
Nice and steady on high float names on these slower days. Gotta clear this 24, and then I think we'll be good. Gotta clear this 24. There's some ask. It's got, it's not that big, 36,400 shares sitting at that.
SWTX.
24-cent point there. I think I would like to be the one doing that, but I'm sure we will, because it's a high float. It's just taking this good look time and just looking for that 24-cent area here, this candle at 10:15 to break up and get another higher high, as it's supposed to, as we are just following the higher lows and higher high pattern.
HRO. EBS.
Okay, here we are, 24 cents once again. Let's break the about 24. There it is. There it is. That's what I'd like to see. Or we like to see that, right? Nice higher lows, nice higher highs, continue up this beautiful trend pattern, and be smart following the pattern. It feels good when you just do, what works, and stick to the highest probability, the chances of you making money, instead of guessing, potentially getting lucky. That doesn't feel that good. Do you like winning lucky, guys? Is that how you want this career to be? Oh, I just want to really make it big. I just want to be lucky, right? No, that's not really. You want to do it because you had a high chance set up, was looking great. This is the area to punch. Stay patient. Why? Because the trade is still working out on your favor. It's bullish. You don't need to be selling just because you're like, oh, well, like, what if? And play this mental game like, oh, but what if, Dave? What if? You don't need to be worrying about the what if. Just have the trading plan set and we just go for it. Here we go. New high, previous another higher high. Now, if we can break 26, that is what I'm talking about. That's gonna be the sauce. But just every time it makes a higher high, don't get too greedy. Expect a little bit of a pullback, right? So sell off into some new high. We already hit the first PT, and then always get back in at the higher low. If you deposit, I wonder what that alarm was for. If you exited, right? Oh, that was for the that was an hourly. All right. Anyways, if you exited like say 50%, you can rebuy back like 25% of it back down at a cheaper price, or at a higher low price. 39 cent up pulp though. So we are constantly pushing on up. I'm gonna go ahead and give low to check mark with a chart up. When I put this chart up emoji, it just simply means that the stock trade is still good and it's still continuing the higher lows and great. Yes, higher lows and higher highs. Again, this is a micro penny stock, so I am not going in any big amounts by any means, but it is good. So only these two trades really. I mean, smaller trades. The thing about it, I'm gonna say this again. The reason why is because, if I was on Webull trading or Robinhood, free commissions, then it makes sense. Then I'll buy all the shares I want. I'm on Centerpoint Pro, and when you're on these type of platforms like Guardian or any of the Cobras, or these more favorable for the short seller, it's more active. It's meant for more active day traders, right? The Weebulls and the Robinhoods not really designed necessarily for active day traders. Is designed for kids and adults and whatever the heck you want to do with swings or whatnot. So nothing wrong with that, but the commission's fee structure on these, like buying in more shares, it's going to cost a lot more. It's just not worth it. Like, it's just not worth it. And actually, certain accounts, from what I remember back in the days, when there's a certain limit, your broker wants to see you have more money on your brokerage account. So if you only have, say, $50,000, which, so for some of you, it's a lot of money, but for the brokerage side, they want you to have more money. They want to have more of that capital in their end, right? So, $50,000 really isn't really anything special for them, right? So the more money you put in, they'll let you increase actually the share size. There actually is a limit they put in on a share count size. So for example, I think the average on most of these accounts are going to be like 25,000 shares. So for me, like 25 to 50,000, I think is max. But the higher buying, or like, more cash you have, they do let you obviously go beyond that. But sometimes you can request it to up your share size. But really, I think it's smart to have that so that you're not gambling more and then risking more than you really should. It's there to really kind of make sure you're keeping yourself in check and you're not, gambling, right? You don't have no business to throw out all the shares. It's very tempting, as a lot of the new traders. I remember using max margin all the time. And that was the quickest way to blow up multiple accounts every time. I mean, it's fun, not to blow up account, but it's fun using more money than what you have. Like, it's just this mindset of more like, wow, like, when you do like these, say 25,000 and you have up to like ×4 margin, you can get in. Now, the only thing is, it doesn't necessarily mean you can buy ×4 on all the stocks. They're going to have restrictions on some of these, but it's just not smart either way, using that much margin. Sometimes it's okay to use margin, but you have to use margin very wisely. I don't recommend it for the new traders, because you're just setting up for yourself to blow it up even faster and more money. So why do that when you can just use your own money, use your own capital, right? Obviously, this is not regarding on prop firm. Now, obviously, if we had the prop firms, that makes sense. But anyways, that's another topic for another day. So S load, we are still testing the 10 EMA, but I assumed that you guys locked in something or all something at, you know, we hit PT 26 is so far the still the high day. That is that mark that we said we got to break through. And once we do, which I think we can because the uphold is still moving up higher, then we'll continue and go into the 30-cent mark. So nice and steady still. Now 10 EMA, here we go testing again. We might test back down to the VWAP as this 10 EMA shatters, but right now we got 40 seconds left on this candle. And I think we are going to be back down to the now 25 and the VWAP's just right there. But either way, this is I mean, this was very obvious that, you know, locking in towards 25 to 26 before that pre-market the actually opening high is smart. If you thought it was going to go more, then the wise thing to do was move your stops up higher. So you get your trailing stops, right? That's a smart thing to do as well. As the price gets higher and higher, your stops trails up higher. So you're insured to take something home. Now, a lot of traders also, the new traders don't like that though, because, you know, they're like, well, I could have sold it at the high, but the thing is, the timing is always off, right? Most of the time, your timing, it's not even just a timing. Like you might have had the time to do it, but you didn't because why? Well, it's either most likely yeah, you were greedy. It's the emotions. That's the whole point. That's why these stops are there. You can say, you can tell yourself, well, I'm going to get stopped out at this price. Well, that depends on how disciplined you are. Most people really aren't disciplined. So they're not going to listen to what they say they're going to do. I mean, you really got to know yourself, the mess. I mean, you really got to be honest with yourself, right? Like, okay, how many times do I actually do what I say I'm going to do? A lot of people, we don't do what we say we're going to do, unfortunately, because we're not perfect. We're not robots. So, you know, even I don't do all the things that I say. I mean, that's a problem, right? But that's why we work on ourselves to do better job to make sure because the more you do that, you know, the more you will do. Obviously, sometimes, like I said, I have a busy schedule, and sometimes I might not do exactly what I need to do. Could be an excuse, but you know, whatever it is, you need to be honest with yourself and acknowledge that, and then see how it reflects on your trading. Um, so a lot of days like today, I will set stops. You know, I'm not gonna have a mental stop and then just leave my orders open and then be like, oh yeah, I'll come check it out when it's around that mark. I'll sell. No, on a day like today, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna have those tight stops. I'm not gonna fool around. I know it's today's a very attractive day for shorts. Look what's happening now. Straight back down to where we started. So if you weren't like, oh, but I want another new high today, so I'm gonna hold till it fills that mark or I'll go home. Well, now you're home and you're not taking anything now. So always be smart. You know, the trend line cracked. That's why I deleted it. It just didn't work. It didn't hold. That's when, that's, shorts are just going to try to take it down further. And we're now about to get potentially a death cross. Apps, what happened? Straight rejection at that 267 area, right? And pulled back down. Now, luckily, it's still holding the 50 MA on apps, but I mean, do you really want to like fool around all day trying to really get that one penny plot pop or two, and next thing you know it just fakes out and drops? Like it's just not worth the day. So anyways, we got to take a quick 7-minute stretch break, guys. We'll be back here at 10:40. Wait for the 20 minutes till 11 a.m. rip or dip setups. Let us know in the chat if you see any setups. I appreciate those that are doing that. I really do. You guys know who you are, so keep that up. And for those that are not doing it, I encourage you to do so. All right, so we got 20 minutes till 11 a.m. rip or dip time. Hopefully, you guys are getting in the habit of getting out of your seats once in a while. I recommend every 50 minutes. And the reason why that is because is if your body doesn't move, guys, your brain starts slowing down and you get drowsy. And so it's not good for your trading. So, and not only that, it's not good for your back, it's not good for anything. So get up at least every 50 minutes. For those that love sitting there for hours. Obviously, I don't really see much at the moment, but I do think load maybe an 11 a.m. potential ripper again. So I am keeping load here, just flat on the watch, and nothing else really.
LITO. Well, PGY. SMTC. GFS. EMS.
NQ has ended up breaking above the deviation 2 line, so it is just continuously being a big pop. So if you're shorting, you're probably going to get damaged today because if you look at, like I said, I keep telling you, wait for the confirmation closing. It's constantly closing green. So if you've assumed it's going to drop, I mean, sorry, but you should have waited till the candle confirmation closing of the at least the first red candle. We're not seeing a single red candle. Sure, you can try to time and guess that it's probably going to be soon here. But you can get in at the top of those wicks and then cover, but you don't know if it's going to continue to get the next candle higher since now they're still holding above the deviation 2 line, not a single red candle.
CRT. S. BFS. MBOS. Well, MKDW. KLA. LFMT. Stir. Stir. DDNA. BFF. Double wage. PGY. T. Well, SEDG. KCIA. IMXI. CSI. BIOR. APLT. CRC.
Yeah, so pretty much just for me, I was personally only able to get CET and load. I didn't get to catch a chance to get the Ogan earlier at that 120 dip. It did hit PT. If you got that quick scalp, great job. I just didn't get a chance to get that fill because I didn't put an order in. But if you took that, great job. But my favorite trades only, I mean, there's nothing to talk about. Just really CET and load. Those are literally the only ones that I was able to catch today, which is a not that's a little unusual because I don't really just have two names. And it's fine. It happens once in a while.
one, APLT, EG1, SMTR,
Mm,
SGH, KZIA,
all right, guys. I personally, guys, the only thing I'll leave one more last is CDT. 15 minutes left, so CDT we're watching for 11 a.m. Ripper. VWAP roll is really the what I'll be watching closely here. So let's pull up CDT.
Fox,
And then look at the 34-cent VWAP there, which is literally coming on up. The dip area that we really wanted to see was 28. Again, although I did say that we're probably not going to get to 28, you're probably going to get 29 to 30. I didn't switch my limit order. I personally just kept it at 28. I said that if it either fills me or if it doesn't, I don't care. Honestly, I just don't care because this is not even like a trade that I really would be enjoying anyways. Earlier, that's one trade and was good enough for me. This trade was the best trade. I mean, our team got the best move. This is the you know what I mean? Right at 7 o'clock, quality, big meat of the move runner. You know, with smaller shares, you could have, you know, made a decent chunk. So made a little small money there. And then, you know, wanted to give it the 28 try. Didn't. When it already bounces like that, you don't need to be waiting down again at the 28. It's just usually it's going to make another lower low. So that's not really something what I like to see. And by that time, people fizzle out. They're not that interested. But you can always give it a try. Up to you guys. Don't let me discourage you guys from taking it. There's nothing wrong with you experimenting yourself. Try maybe going in one share, whatever you can afford to lose, and test it out. Because the reason why you have to test it out instead of just listening to other experts is because you yourself need to see it to believe it. Not just from other people because they're credible, blah, 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 because they're experts. They got the whatever, this and that. They have, forget about all that. You need to do it yourself and then be able to experience it and then be like, okay, it's working. Okay, it's not working as great. I need to adjust. So with that being said, do give it a try, like, and experiment and test. It's all trial and error, and your job as a trader, not only is it, you know, doing the whole risk management and position management, but it's just to review and do better. That's it. It's always about doing it better over time. And that's the beauty about, you know, trading and you know, this ties into life is, you know, the more you want to figure out and do better, that's how it should be. You become more fulfilled that way too, by the way, since you know you don't always think that you've done everything you could. There's always more to do. You know, something that I've learned over the years is actually makes me less happy when I don't do the things that I need to do. Like, for example, like it seems like people think when you retire or like don't do anything, all you do is just chill. It will make you happy, and since it's relaxing, yeah, there's a season for that, but that's not really what you want in life. Okay, because it's actually less. The guys that actually do the workers, the guys that are high achievers, they need to do something. You can't just not do anything. I know you have this idea where what if I just win the lottery, the jackpot, $100 million or whatever, that you're just going to be, life is going to be good. It's not always like that. You know, just because you have more money, yes, you have more, you know, potential freedom and all that, but that always comes with a lot of responsibilities and expect a lot of baggage that comes along. So the point I'm trying to say is don't just think like, well, you know, my goal is just to not put the work in later down the road. Like, there's a season for you to rest and not do it, but you don't want that forever in your life because it's going to actually make you less happy, especially if you're the high achiever. Or you have been working hard towards this. You're not going to be happy. I mean, this is just me from my experience, and um, it seems like that's what most high achievers have been telling me as well. If you're the type that always want to improve and stuff, that should be your life thing, not ever stop. You know, I can guarantee the guys that are retired and got nothing else to do, they are miserable because all they're doing is they're drowning down in booze, doing drugs because they're bored to death. They don't know what to do. They don't have anything to do. They could do so much more things, but you know, it's just as clear as day. I have friends that literally have $100 million in their bank account and they don't do anything because they think that money was everything, and money is not everything. And I can tell you they're not happy. They're not the happiest guys. Now, at the same time, the flip side, that does not mean having money is not going to make you not happy. I know plenty of people that are also have a lot of money and are happy. It's just doing the things that you are called to do, your purpose, your something to grow, right? Because like life, again, you need to be keeping yourself active and making sure you're growing. That's why it's good to get out of the house once in a while and go meet people and talk and be inspired, not just always about just you. And I already made it. I have all this money. It's not about that. I mean, if it is, I don't think you're that happy. You're probably a little lost right now. So I don't know, just letting you know this is kind of tying back to trading because you shouldn't just think that I've mastered everything. I know everything. I know all this, Dave. You say this all the time. I know this, Dave. I don't need to hear this. I already know. That's not the attitude you need to have. You need to be like, yeah, you know, we all need to be reminded and be like, you know what? There is more to learn. I don't know everything. I need to be a student of the market every single day as much as possible. Time is limited. I don't know when we're going to be gone. I don't know when I'm going to be dead. I could be gone for all I know this afternoon. I get run by over a bus. But the point is, right? You need to enjoy and, you know, enjoy the stuff and be excited and learn more. So that's the kind of attitude I want you guys to have and coming in every day here too. Don't just be like, oh, it's just another day, Dave. It's going to be another slow. I already know how it's going to go. It's going to be slow. There's nothing to look forward to. I'm out. You know, that's fine, but I think it could be a lot better if you came in with a different attitude and be like, you know what? You never know what you're going to get. And there are times where we're like, you know, oh, wow, that ended up being a really good trade. Yeah, this thing's not stopping. This thing's still well above the deviation 2 line. Indo was watching. Am I missing something on Indo, guys? Can somebody enlighten me on why we're constantly talking about Indo? Is it, I know it's a you know, oil and gas company. Am I missing something here in Indo? It seems like a lot of you guys have been talking about Indo, but I mean, what am I missing here? Is there some amazing news to be out? Does someone know something that I don't know? Because they haven't had a news since July 16. Did I miss some note about oil companies running up? I mean, this is the only one so far. I haven't seen any other oil stocks really taking off on these small caps. Is there a guy on Twitter that you guys follow? Is someone trying to pump or something? Like, I keep pulling up Indo and I'm just like, eh. I keep having that, eh. You know, I think I put up a potential. I was thinking about. I think did I play this yesterday? I think I made a trade or two recently on this, but it wasn't anything crazy. I gotta go back and look here. Let me see the chart. It's come up to $4. It's right at Tanny May. And there's a new high today. Speak of the devil. I mean, it's higher highs, and that doesn't mean I'm gonna chase here because this is probably the selling point. Every time I pull it up, when you guys mention it, it comes up towards that mark where actually it's favorable for the shorts. So I'm just saying, let's see here. It's already coming up to that mark, $4 natural resistance here. I mean, it's good if you got in early. It looks like Houston's moving, so maybe some oil names that people are predicting. We haven't had those in a while though. Indo War Hype Train Jockeys. Gotcha. That makes sense. But I just don't see the hype. I don't see enough hype. You know? Might be good for swing traders. You know, they buy in early, they get on Twitter, stock twits, tweet about it. Hey guys, this is what's gonna happen. Pump, pump, pump. Buy, buy, buy. Those that got in $3, they're happy because they got the dollar run. They swinged it overnight or whatever. I mean, I get it. That's for the swing traders, but like that doesn't serve me anything for day traders like me. There is a line I have at 412, so I don't really think it's really that worth it to try to pop it at $4 at this point.
Yes. TCPC, NYCHES, NKTX.
Okay, Scott, appreciate you coming in today and chatting up. Good day. Overall, it should be a green day for everybody. So stay safe out there, guys. Be smart. Let's close green, call it a day. There's not much out there. Looking forward to the Fast Money Friday. I bet tomorrow is going to be a little more exciting for sure. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Take care, everybody. God bless you all and have a great rest of your day.